Welcome back to the smartest year ever. No days off, let's go. You know that creeping dread after saying something dumb or tripping in public or realizing you've had something in your teeth for an hour? You assume everyone saw it, everyone remembers it, but they don't. And that's the spotlight effect, the brain's tendency to overestimate how much other people notice, care, or even remember our mistakes. And for the final stop in Brain Hack Week, it's the perfect reminder that your internal narrator is a bit overdramatic. The term comes from psychologists Thomas Gilovich, Victoria Medvec, and Kenneth Savitsky at Cornell. We love our Cornell psychologists, who proved in the year 2000 just how wrong our instincts can be. They asked college students to do something mildly mortifying, perhaps for that era. Walk into a room full of your peers wearing a t-shirt depicting either a flattering or potentially embarrassing image. And those are the words straight from the study abstract. Well, how that manifested was they had to wear a bright yellow Barry Manilow T-shirt. I guess that was the peak embarrassment in the year 2000, other than selling off your assets for Y2K protection. Afterward, they were asked to guess how many people noticed. The wearers predicted about 50%, or half the room, had noticed their disgustingly humiliating Barry Manilow t-shirt. But in reality, only 23% did. When the researchers repeated the test with neutral shirts featuring Bob Marley and Martin Luther King Jr., the numbers barely changed. Oh, scientists are such dorks. Oh, like, these are cool. People will... Ugh. All right, call them neutral. Fine, whatever. But the point is, it wasn't embarrassment driving the illusion. It was simple egocentrism. Barry Manilow really catching some strays with this study. I have nothing against him because I don't know any of his music. So does that make me cool? I do know some of the music of Bob Marley. I know a lot of Bob Marley music, and I do know some of Martin Luther King's music. Like, on one side, we got Barry Manilow, and then we have MLK Jr. Kind of, I don't know, I would call them polar opposites in their influence in the world. Like, what a weird study. These guys are such dorks. Love it either way. The point is, we're each the center of our own mental universe, and it's hard for us to imagine that other people aren't watching from the same camera angle that we are. Your brain assumes others see you as vividly as you see yourself, so it projects that focus outward. In reality, most people are too distracted by their own internal monologue to notice you at all. This self-spotlight flares brightest in new or high-pressure situations, first dates, presentations, adolescence, when social mistakes feel fatal, social suicide. It's the same bias behind the illusion of transparency, where we think our nervousness, our guilt is obvious to everyone around us, when in fact almost no one can tell. As is the case pretty much across the board in Brain Hack Week this week, there is survival logic behind it. Our ancestors lived in small groups where reputation literally meant survival. Being noticed, for better or for worse, determined access to food, allies, and mates. Hyper-awareness kept you alive. But that same vigilance now misfires in crowded cities and Zoom calls where no one's actually paying attention. Modern research backs this up. People who replay embarrassing moments after social events drastically overestimate how memorable they are. And by the next day, most observers can't recall the details at all. So let that be a little consolation and relief to those with social anxiety who replay their social encounters in their head over and over again, beating themselves up about how goofy they were or whatever. Your horror story isn't some viral clip. It's one of those disappearing Instagram stories in everyone's feeds, you know, the ones that you just to be nice, but you're not really even processing it. But so there you have it. The next time you catch yourself spiraling over a slip up, remember, you're the protagonist only in your own movie. Everyone else is too busy rehearsing their lines to notice yours. And that was 7 days, 7 biases, or brain hacks, and one very fooled human brain. And that's a wrap on Brain Hack Week. Give me a like and subscribe. Just to be nice. You don't have to process it. Let me know what you thought about this week. I actually really enjoyed this week. This is one of my favorite weeks that I've done in a while. I really liked Presidential Facts Week too, but those were recent, so I'm having fun with those too. I really enjoyed both of those. And go check out my sources, which as always can be found in my YouTube description. That's where you can always find them in the smartest year ever. Share this with someone who likes this sort of thing, or who would benefit hearing something like this. Go check out the short version I do across social media at smartest year ever. That's how you can find me for that 45-second condensed clip. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. Got more good stuff coming this week in the smartest year ever.